from Group 2. My name is and my last study number is 147.
My name is Mugraini Sulisa Prasiwi and my last study number is 146.
My name is Nasmanul Sajatiati and my last study number is 148.
My name is Sabani Zakainafi and my last number is 145.
And we will present about the global trade.
Here I will explain what is global trade. Global trade is the global economy is based on international trade, which allow countries to exchange goods, services, and technology that they cannot produce themselves efficiently. Countries can benefit from comparative advantage by accessing wider market through this trade, increasing the scale of production and exporting their comparative advantage. In global trade has export and import. The act of selling domestic product, goods or services to a foreign market is called exporting. Through export, countries can increase income and create jobs. Import involves purchasing goods or services from abroad to meet domestic needs that are not made efficiently or economical from local production. And next is, why is global trade important? Global trade is important because it can lead to economic growth and cultural exchange. It also helps countries specialize in what they do best and can reduce international conflict. Global trade has economic benefit. Economic benefit number 1 is lower prices. Global trade can lower prices and increase choices for consumers. And number 2 is economic growth. Countries that participate in global trade tend to grow faster. And number 3 is job creation. As business expand into international market, they create new jobs. And the last is productivity growth. Trade can lead to faster productivity growth, especially for countries that specialize in making components for finished product. And the next slide will be explained to my friends.
Then I will explain about challenges in global trade. First, trade barriers. There are two, import tax and import costs. Import tax are additional cost imposed on goods entering a country that make import product more expensive and less competitive. And import costs. Import costs are a limit on the number of certain goods that can be imported within a specific period and to protect domestic industries and control trade balance. Second challenge is regulatory complexity. Different regulation. Each country has different rules and standards for import products, such as safety, health, or environmental standards. If a product does not meet this standard, it cannot be sold in that country. And intellectual property issues. Theft or imitation of brand or design can decrease trust and harms innovation. Then we have economic instability and currency fluctuation. Change in currency exchange rate can affect the price of import and export products. If the exchange rate is unstable, business might struggle to set price and determine profit. And global economic conditions. Inflation, recession, or crisis in one country might impact global trade and supply. And next is supply chain disruption. Pandemic or natural disaster. This can help production, delay shipment, and increase logistic costs. And dependent on specific countries, if one major supplier country is affected, the entire global supply chain can be disrupted. And last is geopolitical tension. Political conflict can disrupt trade flow, and war or civil unrest can harm logistics and cross-border business safety. And the next presentation is explained with my friends.
I will explain the factors that affect global trade. Number one, we got technological factors. The first is transportation and logistics. Good infrastructure enable faster and cheaper trade, and the second is e-commerce and digital trade, which means the internet opens up the opportunities for easier and faster cross-border trade. Number two, we got economical factors. Inflation and interest rate, which means countries with low inflation and stable interest rates tend to be more competitive in international trade. And the second is currency rates. Change in currency exchange rate can affect export and import prices. Number three, we got political and policy factors. The first is political stability, which means countries with stable political conditions are more appealing to investors and trading partners. The second is product regulation and standards, which means quality and standard certification and environmental regulation can be barriers or opportunities in global trade. And number four, we got social and cultural factors. Consumer preference. It is the taste and habits of country people determine what product sell well in the international market. Second is demographic and labor, which means the ability of skilled and cheap labor affect the competitiveness of a country industry. And the last number is environmental and natural resource factors. Resource availability, which means countries that are rich in raw material have a comparative advantage in export. Climate change. It is a natural disaster and extreme weather change can disrupt the global supply chain. And the next slide will be delivered by my friend. Thank you.
Okay, now I will explain about the key international organizations shaping global trade. The first one is World Trade Organization or WTO. The WTO is the most prominent international trade organization responsible for global trade rules. And the functions of WTO, number one is negotiating and reducing trade barriers such as tariffs and quotas, administering trade agreements, providing a dispute resolution mechanism, offering technical assistance to developing countries, and the impact is significant increase in global trade, economic growth, and stability. Number two is World Bank. The role of World Bank is offers financial and technical assistance to developing countries to reduce poverty and promote sustainable development. The impact is funds in infrastructure projects, support trade facilitations, and help integrate developing countries into the global economy. Number three, UN Conference on Trade and Development. The role is promotes the integration of developing countries into the world economy, and the functions is conduct research, provides technical assistance, and advocates for policies that benefit developing countries. And the impact is addresses trade and development challenge, promote investment, and support sustainable development. Next is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. The role is promote policies that improve the economic and social well-being of people around the world, and the function is provides forums for government to work together, share experience, and seek solutions to common problems. The impact is develop standards and guidelines for international trade, investment, and corporate governance. International Monetary Fund or IMF, the role is provide financial assistance and policy advice to stabilize economics and promote global monetary cooperation. The impact is help countries to manage exchange rates, balance of payment issues, and financial crisis, indirectly supporting trade. And then this is the case study of the global trade, the trade dispute between Indonesia and the European Union at the WTO. Background of the crisis, Indonesia has filed a lawsuit with the World Trade Organization against the European Union over its plan to phase out the use of palm oil-based biofuel for vehicles. These actions could escalate the trade dispute between Indonesia, the world's largest palm oil producer, and the European Union, which plan to gradually eliminate biofuel use by 2030 due to concerns over widespread environmental damage caused by the industry. The economic impact, first one is deterioration of Indonesia's EU trade relations. If the European Union continues with its policy, trade relations between the two parties may become increasingly strained. And the second impact on Indonesia's farms and economy, thousands of palm oil farmers in Indonesia are at risk of losing their livelihoods if palm oil exports are restricted.
And that's all for our presentation. If there are any mistake, we are sorry.
Thank you for your attention and wassalamualaikum.